Akrew starting on the attack, going into this first map of our finals here, and they're playing it slow, that's for sure. Spread out, just looking and just kind of waiting, though, trying to peek towards C for just a little bit of information.
Information goes back to being key, especially on this first round into those pistol rounds. As the spike is on the floor, at least for a little bit more, the defense is not looking to peek any corners. They don't want to make any mistake. They want to all be alive, even if that means playing for that post-plant scenario. But that we're not even close to that just yet, as Akrew on this attacking side is depending all on slowly peeking, slowly getting something, and there it is. That is the something that they were waiting for. At least they create some space, and Pancakes is gonna go back.
Was something, but they're not going to be playing off of that into A. Instead, a fast rotate back out, pick up the spike, and start looking towards C. But C could be a very dangerous place to be. Thief already there, already posted up in a great position, and had the opening pick. And I mean, the opening pick just opened up the floodgates for the rest of Pioneers to all grab their kills, and they're going to have a flawless pistol round.
Pioneers with the pistol round, of course, in the hands of Thief, along with JC Stanley. One of the biggest highlights for this team, but it's still hard to pick and choose because everyone has been doing some amazing stuff on the side of Pioneers. And now Akrew, we know how aggressive they are, and we know that sometimes even when they lose those pistol rounds, that doesn't really stop them from making a comeback happen pretty early into the match. So want to see how they play it here, even without having much to work with. I mean, look at them, all of them playing together, pushing B.
Might not have much to work with, but they're going to be playing it aggressive and hoping that makes up for it. But so far, it's not whatsoever. JC Stanley all of a sudden finding themselves with 4 kills going into this, and poor Calm, classic in hand, hiding out. Box over in the mid. Weeded will sacrifice the life for JC Stanley to grab that ace in the second round of the finals.
I like the Akrew keep it fun. They know that the second round is so difficult when you're not going to be forcing, so just make it happen. Just push towards B, or at least get it over with as soon as possible. Even a nice ace that we see for JC Stanley to make it happen in a 2-0 so far for Pioneers. This third one, the rifles being bought by Akrew, and going back to not the so fun strategies, but a little bit more of the very well thought ones.
But you know, that pistol round down, it's time now for Akrew to be buying up with this weaponry, but it's still going to be Pioneers taking that early advantage, leave an op kill right outside of A to start things off, and that's tough blow already for Akrew. If this is the buy-up, they want to be getting those kills. They want to be ones going with that momentum. You don't want to give way at all for Pioneers to take some guns and be resetting your econ.
Still, the information game continues to play a role for Akrew. They want to win this round. They want to keep those rifles because they already lost their Cypher. So even the flank could be a possibility and a scary one for this attacking team that is slowly but surely looking to push towards A, but they don't know yet that there's an operator waiting.
A little dash, a little updraft. Ammo gonna be holding still in the back of sight though. Cloudburst to try and stay safe. It's Critical holding the other angle back of sight. Critical going down though, and a miss op shot is gonna be Immo's downfall. With that, Akrew is able to be pushed out onto the site and take full control of that. Only 2 left for Pioneers to try and push back. They did drop the Cosmic Divide to try and deny some of these lines of sight, but still 4 members to go up against. It's going to be a difficult retake, though. Thief, with a little push up through long, has the potential. He's already watching that, and that is going to put JC Stanley into a 1v4 situation. We saw the ace last round, but it's not going to happen this time around, and Akrew puts their first point on the board.
Losing that Cypher early on, but Akrew didn't let that affect them too much as they were able to win that round towards the end. And the trades, of course, happened just in time for this team to stay alive and even buy an operator, to keep an operator, they definitely need to get that confidence being built. Towards A, I feel like today we've seen all about that A side, especially on a map like this one. So I only expect that to happen a little bit more towards the beginning. It's always the default pulling for information, especially towards mid. But then, as time turns out, it's always A every single time.
Yeah, but we're gonna start it off somewhere else at least. It'll be a trailblazer through garage to try and catch out a little bit of information. It's not gonna reveal anybody, but instead just show a little bit of utility. Is they're gonna be staying safe in the back of window though. Is Owl Drone to try and call out the rest of it. Try and clear this out. Akrew just playing the information game. Try and get Cannyberry onto this. Neon's gonna be posted up with a nice little angle, going through the nebula. It will take critical out on that rotate through. Around the corner will be good for 2, evening up the score, but Spike is planted, so it's all gonna be about whether Pioneers can gather themselves together to make a push back out onto site.
A 3v3 then, but the post can be difficult with JC Stanny. Good for 1, trying to get a little bit more spots. Someone in garage. You're trying to run away, and it's going to be a very interesting duel taking place. Pancakes able to get away with the life for JC Stanny. But for Akrew, there's only Pancakes remaining. The Lear is going to flash him, cannot look at anything, then Defuse will be connecting just in time. As the Sada Pioneers, they get away with their 3rd round.
That was good round. It's coming in right down to it. Akrew unable to quite be holding on to that, and Pioneers taking that little bit of an early lead going on into this, but more importantly, kind of messing up Akrew's money situation. There is rifle on the board, but not going to be keeping it, not being able to get any armor with that. Instead, Akrew going to be looking at a very light buy going into this 5th round.
Not a lot that they're hoping for, but definitely a couple kills, at least for Akrew, to get some things done, to mess up a little bit with the economy for Pioneers here, and it's going to be immediately going into the B side, and they're able to connect that kill where we did in the spike. Going to get planted.
Aggressive push onto site though. That was a kill, and that was the gun in favor of Akrew. But trying to be catching beef out on a push up to C is going to be going down. It is still though Akrew favored 4v3 situation, and just having to be holding this down on end. Now it's going to be a little more difficult for any retake as well as this cosmic divide push beef out completely. Pancakes just on the other side, but time, it's slowly starting to run out, and at this point could just be a save and a mess up on the econ Pioneers, but not even going to be able to get that.
Steve having such a difficult time to pass that cosmic divide, knowing that the enemy team was going to be looking right at him, taking him down, taking this Reyna down, and denying any possibilities this time around for the defense. At least able to save that operator, and even starting a timeout here that we see. It's on the side of Pioneers, actually. It's trying to stop the lead, or trying to stop the momentum from Akrew as much as you can. And I feel like today we haven't seen too much of those timeouts taking place, but I feel like they're always so beneficial, more than anything, to stop the chaos that can turn around if teams start winning round after round, and especially in a match like this one where Pioneers want that revenge. They want to get ahead as soon as possible, and even though they took it towards the beginning, that was just a pistol round and the one after.
Yeah, though I like that they're taking it, you know, before Akrew can bounce back into anything. Just a quick moment of, okay, get everything together, gather the truth. Let's roll out. Can do this and just try and make sure that the defensive half on here can be a positive one overall. But the teams, we've seen them face off head before. We know that they're good teams, and so far we can see that they are very evenly matched in this map alone.
We gotta see how close it's going to get, and JMO towards the end, he was able to save that operator for the defense, so the team's not going to worry so much. The decision making on the side of Pioneers An interesting one here. Yeah, going to a save round. Only Sheriff being bought plus the operator that JMO was able to keep. And they just want to guarantee that Akrew is never going to be able to take the lead. Even if they win this one, Pioneers is going to have enough for the next one, just keeping them on their toes every single time. And on top of that, you have a good opening pick, JMO taking the first one.
A little dash through A, grab that one. Aldrin follow up. It's going to be a Cybercade to try and block down the line of sight, at least for a second, and a little jump peek, though will be a lot of damage at least dealt in return. It's just teasing JMO at this point. And despite the fact there's an op posted up on A, there's going to be the Trailblazer dedicated towards this as well to get that little bit of information. And it looks like Akrew might just want to play Rick Kelly of Beast, posting up, pushing through the Cyber Cage onto site. But things not going well. This all putting in massive work. Pioneers doing a great job closing this out. Only one left for Akrew now, and it's going to be Thief holding down that flank to get out. And, you know, you're talking about Pioneers not letting Akrew get too much of a lead, but at this point, they're going to be grabbing the round to push it even further.
Honestly, impressive what we saw for Pioneers, only with those sheriffs and stealing a couple rifles for the enemy team because they went into a save round. They didn't need to. They had enough to buy some abilities and some weapons here and there, but they just wanted to deny any potential for Akrew to get ahead, even if they lost that round, but they didn't. So that means that Pioneers is good for that last one, and for this one too. The Bladestorm will be coming in as well, expecting a little bit more of the aggression for this round.
Neon force be backing up for half a second, though the alarm bot will make vulnerability not something you want to be pushing forward with. Thief getting a little greedy over in mid, though, gets one, but being taken right out, and that's going to leave ways of growth have to come out and give away the positionings now going into this. Still, it's a time on the board, but 4v4 situation, and Akrew looking to play this towards the left side of the map. Posted up into Garage. They have control of this end of the map here. Hit it in the Nebula, is being able to pop around right with the Owl Drone, gets one, but it's going to be a 2-for-1 special, taking JMO down as well. And only we did now to try and push out and take this down against the 3 members of Akrew on C.
One member alive, Weeded is the only one, but the spike is going to be planted for long, so that means Akrew can just peek one by one. Even checking Garage is not going to do much. Has to take the fight to them. The trade is not even necessary because Kanpeki will be connecting that last one. We did cast such a difficult task, being the last one and knowing that the spike was planted for long. Everyone playing in that area and not even having the necessity to peek. So, round going for Akrew, still putting up a fight, still getting closer and closer to the score. So the question is, how close is Pioneers going to let them get? Because the save round that we saw early on was good. Now we expect the round to be more about those ultimates that are all available for Pioneers.
Yeah, every single one on the board. Akrew only with 2 to be playing with, though. Seekers and Hunter's Furies, those are definitely 2 ultimates to be able to work with. That's for sure. But Akrew, gonna find their time just now. Break the doors. See where the members of Pioneers are going to be playing this time around. Because you don't want to be doing a push onto something where all the ultimates are at their disposal.
The drone trying to catch someone. No, I don't think it's caught anyone yet, even though it's usually going in that same area. And on the other side, Critical trying to get some information, knows that someone's at least looking towards Garage, even if they're not going to be pushing there. The attacking team of Akrew taking different approaches here. Slowly want to peek towards C. JMO is going to miss the kill.
Misses that one, but look at the angle Thief has. It's not going to come to fruition, though. Instead, Neon is going to take Thief down, and that is the momentum needed for Akrew to be pushing onto this site as the Hunter's Furies get traded here. Critical trying to take anybody down on site, but it's not going to be happening this time around for him. Akrew, 2 on site, but everyone else is so split up. Calm over on B, one in long. There's one over in Garage. being split up does give Pioneers the window to try and take these fights 1v1. They've evened it up to a 1v1 situation now. It's JMO, Blade Storm in hand, trying to catch the last member. Still the wall in play. But it's going to be a shock dart to completely end that. And Akrew tie up this game.
Yeah, not even time to work with, and the tie that we've been waiting and expecting from Akrew finally happens. And it is now a scenario where Pioneers don't really have much to buy. They can't afford too much for their economy as it continues to go back and forth. And this is honestly concerning for both of the teams, right? On the side of Akrew, a team that has been so dominant throughout the day, has been struggling back and forth, has been making maps very close. And for the side of Pioneers, we want to take a lead as early as possible, but that also hasn't been the case. I want to see what the decision making now is going to be, because everyone on the attacking side is playing all the way back, and JC standing, pushing a little too far forward, does get taken down.
That's just what Akrew has been waiting for. Every round has been really slow, waiting for anyone to peek a little bit of an angle that they shouldn't. And that's going to be that little bit of a window. And now with that, a slow walk from Akrew over onto C. Only one member of Pioneers at the back of sight. Going to be holding it with the Marshall. Is able to tag, but not beg anybody there. And with JMO going down, the site is almost free for the taking. There is one lurker at the back, waiting in that nebula, is weeded, but is going to be backing away, being caught out with that owl drone.
Owl drone coming a little bit later, but this time around, Critical is going to connect a shock dart into Neon. No more death, no more operator here. There was not a lot of HP to work with in the first place, and now the rotation is going to be revealing into the sea. Everyone going to be playing for long again. Not the first time that we see it, but this time around, being able to pick up an operator can be enough for the defense to connect, though. Line by one, we did a Critical. Don't have any chance against the positioning of this attacking team.
Not at all. And with that, Akrew is going to be taking the lead in this on their attacking end. Finally, 3 in a row. It was Pioneers that called the timeout, but it's been Akrew that's had the momentum since then. It was, not full bias last time around, but I mean, Akrew economy is pretty decent, and if they can just keep snowballing this, I mean, we've seen how strong of a team they could be. This is a dangerous position to let them get in.
Oh, absolutely. Now, on the set of Pioneers, you at least have a lockdown to work with. Can be giving a little bit of space, even if they are not able to take control of the side. Even if you lose one of the sides, the lockdown, one of the strongest ultimates that we have in this composition, get something done to put the enemy into an uncomfortable position, just like a shock dart was able, we're trying to do for a little bit. But for Akrew, everyone looking pretty comfortable on this attacking side. No one just committing to go in yet.
Not yet, but Critical will at least commit to trying to get some of this information. Owl drone coming out and spot out. We'll at least see one, and it's going to be an owl drone in response. Try and catch out, where the defending team is at, as it's a little bit of a standoff into this. All the members of a crew hold up. Maybe a little bit of a weapon swap as the push starts going slowly up through a long the site, but still 3 members of Pioneers there to greet them.
Just knowing that every single time is often a more than not. Neon trying to play aggressive does get taken down from the other side, and this operator shots, of course, they're going to connect one team to another.
Yeah, it's gonna be the trades, and then that's that. It's gonna be a rotate out, but look at how far up Com had pushed to be Northwest as well, to be giving out the last little bit of information there, as there's 10 seconds left for the spike to be planted. It will be safe to be planted, though. I'm holding that down, making sure of that, and Critical has no health. Be playing around with at that point. Gonna be taking down, and Akrew are now gonna be even, at least for the half, with another win under their belt.
Akrew gets another one here, and it's 6-4 that we have right now between the two teams, and it's been extremely close, push until the last minute, but the operators have absolutely made a difference. for the team and for Akrew as they're able to get ahead, forcing Pioneers into a save round where the best thing that you can get here is gonna be a Marshall for critical.
Yeah, Pioneers, you know, earlier on they tried to make some big econ moves, but things definitely not looking the greatest for their wallets right about now, as Akrew is just running over them with the weaponry defense. Trying to push through the cyber cage, though, is not going to be going too well for Calm. And, you know, the weapon diff, it's going to be the Sheriff coming out on top this time around.
A bit of an upgrade that we can see here and there, but now the area is trying to deny the entrance towards garage. Has to back up, though. You gotta be careful when the economy is not really going for the set of Pioneers. Even if all members are alive, a little bit more is going to be needed.
All right, being able to successfully take garage, it'll be a push onto C now. And Pecky gonna be trying to clear out all these different angles as the crew only has 3 be holding this site with a Hunter's Fury coming out and everyone as well backing out onto long. And Pecky gonna be going down for that though. Nebula comes out. A shot, really nice op shot from Neon though. Will take Danny out to try and even this out, but now it's now a 3v1 situation. Op in hand, and Critical's just gonna be sticking this defuse at this point. There is no chance. Neon just trying to get away with the op, but JMO gonna be putting an end to that. And Pioneers now, they have a good chance of being able to tie this up before the swap.
But throughout today, we haven't really seen any tied up halves towards the beginning. It's been a 7-5, it's been an 8-4, never really the 6-6 that it's really nice, even though at the end on the second half it gets a little bit more uneven. So we gotta see what Akrew is able to do here. Of course, the rifles are going to be bought, the Blade Storm available for Neon, and Neon is one of the top jet players that we have in this tournament. I want to see what he's able to do with it.
Definitely want to be keeping an eye on going into this round. Pioneers, of course, on defensive. Gonna try and put an end to that. A spam through the Nebula and Garage. Not gonna be netting anything for Weeded. Instead, gonna be backing up. Well, you know, Akrew, full force ahead. Cosmic Divide going down. We'll at least let Neon get onto site, but now Swarms and all this utility to try and stop anybody else. And sure, that was committed over to that site, but the rest of the team just gonna be going out onto C. It's going to be a guiding light through the wall. Take one down. And we did try to be pushing up through logs, is not going to be having that great of a time. Through a fantastic way of taking the site down. And only 2 left for Pioneers to try and go into the retake in. And still, they're not even together at this point. Critical's already in Garage, but it's a mad flank over from A for JMO to be able to try and meet up with the rest of the team.
Not able to see where Gochi was going to be, and JMO does get taken down. Only a Critical remaining, cannot have any vision because of that Nebula. And with that, 7-5 Akrew getting ahead from the beginning. Last time that these 2 teams faced each other, this map ended up being 13-9. And Pioneers was just, I mean, they made it pretty far, but they were lacking a little bit. Again, they want to stop this same narrative from happening again. And even though they're looking close, they just have to win the pistol round.
Yeah, taking down this pistol round and the round after it to be able to even this up on their attacking end is just what they need. Because you're right, they got so close last time, but not able to quite get there. And Akrew is a team, they can snowball things. They can adapt. They can come back. They're a dangerous team to let get ahead. You cannot let them get this pistol round.
They are really good at getting the pistol, but so is Pioneer, so they have a lot more pressure in the way that they want to play on this attacking side more than anything, and how careful this side of Pioneers wants to play to make sure that the pistol round will go their way, and that means maybe even investing a little bit more into that utility or that information game before pushing into sight.
Wow, Pioneers playing so patiently, so slowly, but you see Akrew running back and forth on that mini-map between these sites. They were all on A, they rotated out, but they're going to be running back to A just in time for this push. And I mean, it's not going to go well for Pioneers. Instantly, Neon Akuchi going to be putting any end to that. And Critical stuck in the corner with the classic. Will be good for at least 1 kill, but that is going to be all it is. Akrew take down the pistol round in a very dominant fashion. And Pioneers needed that round to try and close this up.
And that is just not going to be the case anymore because the Akrew are getting ahead, are buying those weapons for the next round, and are going to be in a massive advantage if they're able to take this next one. So a potential full save for Pioneers because the momentum can start shifting towards Akrew. And like I said early, once they get it, they just don't want to let it go.
Definitely. But it's going to be full team Pioneers. We're gonna play together this time. Try and see where something can be made here against the bot up Akrew. Making in the back of sight. Knows that there's a bit of pressure towards this long, but there's going to be pressure towards his A as well. And Neon is going to be netting the first kill of the round with that Marshall hold up in A short. Any attempt to be pushing Neon whatsoever, not going well for Pioneers. Calm steals the ace, but Neon coming out on top with the 4K in that round.
Oh, that was absolutely insane from Neon. We've seen highlights throughout the day with those marshals in the hands of the Jets. And Neon, of course, is able to do it again. Amazing job already guaranteeing the Blade Storm to be available for this player. And just making it clean, making it easy. Pioneers didn't have much hope, but they don't like giving those 4 or 3Ks even for the enemy team. That is something that they have to deal with now as Pioneers just phase into the next round and try to look ahead.
Definitely. In this round, though, the crew definitely looking ahead. They're pushing ahead. Blade Storm in hand, guns in hand. They're not going to be able to do it secretly. Are going to be caught out with a little bit of utility. But they're pushing up aggressively together. Trailblazer around the corner, but the long angle going to be played as well. He's standing just waiting there. And Neon's going to be dashing into death. But as there's everything happening over here, there is going to be a spike plant for onto A site. He, though, trying to push on is going to be taken down. And now there's only 2 left. Only 1 left, actually. Yuchi for Akrew to try and go for this retake. Try to take these 1 by 1 is good for 2 kills, but that's going to be it. And Pioneers will bring this to a 6-9 scoreline.
9 though for Akrew and the potential to get those double digits on this next one, depending on how things are gonna go. But when you give Neon an operator, there's a lot of hope for what Akrew can do this time around. Everyone pretty well split across the map, just going to those default positionings every single time. And Neon, the way that he plays into A, is so nice that he's every single time, it seems like, able to guarantee at least 1 or 2.
Starting this off. It's going to be that pressure to Garage. Tripwire, not to be sneaky about it. Gucci's unable to quite get anything through the Nebula, instead getting spammed down instead. Trailblazer for the concussion, and Pecky tries to help out here, and is going to be good for 2. Gucci going up with 1, and that was what was needed. The crew going to be taking the advantage into this, especially with the Neon difference coming out. 2 off kills to be closing out that round, and Akrew are now on the double digits.
The Neon Haven special coming up for Akrew, who have been absolutely popping off. And again, Neon is able to get always at least 1 or 2 with him before anything else happens, to guarantee the confidence for the team and to guarantee that those rounds are going to continue going their way. And even though Pioneers seem to peak towards mid, towards B, they always end up A, and they always end up getting taken down by the same operator.
I mean, A is a fun side to play towards, but this operator has been an issue, that is for sure. It is going to continue to be an issue. Neon with the opening pick. Thief is at least able to grab a kill in exchange, a life for a life. But at this point, even trying to get out of A-Long is going to be tricky. But Neon with the missed shot was exactly what was needed there. We'll return with 1 more before being taken down by Critical, but damage has been done at this point. But it does leave an op in Jamo's hands at this point. 3v3 situation and looking to back up off of A.
At least a little bit, at least only 1 player, and I believe that Sova for Pioneers only 1 HP for critical to work with, so not a lot, just depending on everyone else to do the job to get the kills. And a 3v3 that is very much doable, but the fact that Neon was able to get that 2k made it a little bit uneven for a couple of seconds. Gucci's going to be very close, immediately denying that information and getting JMO right away.
JMO, no chance to use the opt at all, and now it's 3v2 situation. Not barely even critical, absolutely no health, and any push through B is going to be completely denied by Calm. And now Akrew are just 1 away from match point on the first map in this best of 3 finals.
3 ultimates available for Pioneers, and it is critical that I'm looking at with the Hunter's Fury and what they can do with a critical, one of the top players for the side of Pioneers, with no doubt. And one of the only players that can get some absolutely insane lineups, insane kills with the use of utility. So relying a little bit more on critical, using the Hunter's Fury this round to get something going and to stop the chaos that Akrew's putting into this map.
Definitely. Crew, they're difficult to stop right now, that's for sure. But Pioneers are gonna try and put any sort of pressure into Garage. Try and force anyone out. Try and take a little bit of map control and information, though not quite committing to anything quite yet.
Concealment.
Everyone alive though, but a little bit of damage that was taken by the set of Pioneers early on, and looking once again to peek towards that Garage, but every single time gets a 9 lockdown. Going to come online as long as the shock bullets are connecting, though the hesitation to go in is going to be there.
Point out firing, re-detained, but just over 30 seconds to be pushing onto site. G already pushing out and is going to be popping around the angle. Deny this plant. And with that, the spike is going to be down on site. Pioneers have to be pushing back into this. They do have a number advantage, but the health on the board is not that fantastic. And with all these chokeholds, it'd be difficult to be pushing out onto site. But the critical crits. Is that a team kill coming out? It will going down from the Hunter's Fury. Critical to come up huge in that round, but all of a sudden left in a 1v2 situation. Seconds, doesn't have time to spike, doesn't have time to plant the spike, and Pancakes just has to hide at that point. And what a way for Akrew to be going on to their match point.
Critical able to get the kill, but that is not going to matter in any way, shape, or form for Akrew, as they're still going to be in that match point, still pushing for that match point. Only one more in this first map or that grand finals for them to go. And now it is not even looking as close as it was looking last week. So Pioneers gonna step up their game and start a comeback. It's gonna take some time.
Definitely, but I don't know if it's a little too late at this point in this match as well. Ultimate's on the board for Akrew. Pioneers are going to be the ones to be bringing them out first, though, and be a Cosmic Divide over on B and a Nebula. We're not committed to that. Instead, we're going to be doing the diversion, be pushing into Garage, onto B site. Already 2 on the back of C, though, and a Hunter's Fury coming out from Akrew. Try and get even more information. As the wall falls, all the lines of sights are going to be realized. Gonna be Trailblazer as well to catch it out. Any push up, trades can be made, and Pancakes coming up big. This is the Sova difference, but it's Pancakes on top, but it's a little too late. Pioneers, all of a sudden, 2 left. Neon, though, fantastic shorty kill, and it's just down to a 1v1 with both Jets from each side standing.
Oh, and Neon, of course, is going to get that one. A little bit more of the confidence showing up for Akrew as they take this map. And it's Neon all the way. Everything that we've seen from this Jet, everything that we've seen from this player has been insane. From the first quarterfinals that we saw to now. And now, only 1 more to go.
Yeah, this was such a strong map 1 coming out. to take this down. I mean,
It's the biggest win condition for Akrew and has been so many times, so many matches. So now Pioneers have to grab and have to take a little bit more of what the enemy team has been doing to get ahead in this one to take us to a third map. But it's all stars right away. Pancakes taking 2. The dominance for Akrew starts right now. But there's only 2 remaining for Pioneers. Nothing that can be done in different parts of the map have to come close together.
wow. I mean, Akrew have their one map under their belts, and you can tell right out of the gate that they're looking for that second one. Only 2 left for Pioneers to try and make a move with. It's going to be Thief. Over in A short, guiding light around the corner. We'll only find 1 though, and down to just JC Sandy stuck in showers. 3v1 situation is not going to be working out too well, and Akrew is going to be taking that first pistol round yet again, going into our second game.
The pistol round going pretty away, and Pancakes able to get the opening picks more than anything. We saw the Pioneers wanted to rush into sight, but Pancakes denied any possibility of that happening. It continues to look good. I mean, Akrew is looking so good that they are even going to let Neon buy a Phantom for this one. It's a Phantom and light shields to work with, but in the hands of Neon, in the hands of this Jet, I'm all in for it.
It's definitely a bold strategy, but we'll see if this one pays off for them. It's going to be Pioneers pushing up towards B long this time around. 3 though for Akrew already on site, ready for when this push slowly comes out. The Kentucky possibly first, but no! JC Sandy instead went the upset and the push onto site. Only 1 member lost for Pioneers to try and take that over.
4v3 that we have right now. Playing into this B hole, trying to get something done for Neon, and with this Phantom, you're just fighting to keep it in the game. You're just fighting to keep it inside of your team. Good for 1. Jimo just got taken down. The Trailblazer is going to connect for a couple of seconds there. But still a 3v3, and still Neon with not a lot of HP to work with.
Not at all. And at this point, Neon, though, not much health to work with. Still going to be able to get 3 kills. And things looking dicey, but Akrew now in a 2v1 situation. Thief trying to hold on to site, taking heavy fire and unable to quite hold on. It was a risky one for Akrew to be getting that Phantom. And Pioneers almost did it, but Akrew will take that second round.
Akrew was just able to do it because of the way that they were playing together. Again, it was what was trending on the B holes. Knowing that there was at least 1 or 2 to trade those picks, even if the Jet got taken down, even Neon got taken down, the Phantom was still going to be in the hands of Akrew, and that is all that they needed. That is all that they had to do, and you're able to do just that. Ending a 4-0 for Neon, and being able to get ahead in a 2-0 against Pioneers.
I mean, at this point, just glad Akrew didn't lose that Phantom at this point. But now Pioneers, their buy-up. There's a little bit of pressure towards B, but unable to quite have that line of the sight beat the Nebula. Not going to be trying to push through that because there's a world of pain waiting just on the other side. Critical, though, does have the utility to potentially call it out, but is not quite going to. Instead, they're waiting to see if somebody will peek up into them. Gonna call out at least 1 around the corner. Nebula goes back up, and Neon just getting out of there.
Well, Neon is going to be alone, but can't really see much. And Nebula is going to be on the way, and that Cloudburst that he threw going to be there too. So for the setup Pioneers, they don't have a lot of space to work with, especially towards the beginning. Just gonna play that information game before going in. That guiding light, telling them that someone's going to be close, but can't pick it on the other side too.
Gravitational well, make sure nobody's pushed up quite too far. But B long has not been going Pioneers' way whatsoever. 30 seconds left in the round. Gonna be rotating out fast from that. But Akrew has not moved from their spots whatsoever. There is still 2 members over on A site, and it's going to be all that Viper utility to try and push through with no time left to try and rotate back out. Holding in lamps, holding this angle. And as the push comes, the trade's coming out. There's only 10 seconds now for Pioneers to try and find their footing, but they're going to be able to get that spike planted, and they're going to have this advantage 4v2 as any attempt of a push comes out. And Pecky is able to find one. Try and even this up a little bit.
Well, trying to get a little bit, yeah, but I mean, Thief is going to deny that possibility, and a retake when you only have 2 members alive, things can get pretty difficult, especially with the Spectre at hand. Thief make it into another one, and I can't remember if we saw Thief. Actually, yes, we did see Thief on the sky before last week, and it was actually a pretty good one. I mean, it's already showing, but is relying a little bit more on JMO and going into that initiator role has been pretty beneficial for this player to, at least in that round, give them the first one for Pioneers.
Yeah, but to be fair, I think Thief on any agent. Thief is just such a strong player. Just be able to win these gunfights. So being able to see him on Sky is definitely fun, but I think it's just a Thief difference overall. Now, Pioneers winning that last round is going to be just try and see where Akrew is going to be pushing. But look how far Akrew is pushed up through the nebula, through the smokes. Just be going to play an aggressive defense here, though they will be caught out with the Seekers. They're not going to be able to do this as sneakily as they maybe wanted to. Trailblazer will confirm everything they have going for them, and at this point, Pioneers just trying to collapse on them, but Neon will find 2 for being taken down, and I mean, this aggressive defense that they had, it's been working out.
It has been working out, and now Weeded is the last one, remember, remaining, and again, wouldn't be the first time that we see a clutch happening for Weeded, especially on this Viper, but the information is going to be there. Gets spotted, has to run away. The set of Akrew and their last 3 players remaining for the team and play together can at least trade, but that is not even going to be necessary because Pancakes is there to clean it up. The spike will not be planted, and Akrew will be getting away with a 3-2-1.
And that was a fun round coming out from Akrew, though. Being able to just push all the way through A short, trying to go for that long thing and catch someone off guard, and just the fight the middle of this map here. But Akrew coming out on top with the unique strategies. Awesome. And that is going to be putting Pioneers now on a really broken bye.
Kind of a messy bye here. Not ideal in any way, shape, or form, really, but Neon wanting to play aggressive has to back up. Pancake's good for 1, just spraying through that wall. And the space, though, is being controlled by the attacking team.
Being able to push out just enough, but the Hunter's Fury coming out is going to be getting just a bit of damage, though not going to be converted into a kill. And Pioneers taking that lead. Just coming out to catch the information. Shock Dart trying to fade any sort of way. Cosmic Divide, though, will make it even more difficult. The last 2 members of the crew to try and be pushing out onto site, try and get any sort of this information, but there is a recon bolt at disposal at least to try and work with. The time's running out. They got to be pushing through at this point. Try and bait out a little bit of that information. Imo stuck in the corner, will be taken down. Pancakes with the 4 kills. Only Thief now. At this point, not enough time. Holding my breath on that one. And despite the fact that Pancakes came up huge in that round, not gonna be enough to secure it.
Pancake is so good at the game. How does he do it? The Stova popping off map after map, round after round, and that 4K looked beautiful, but unfortunately for this side of Akrew was not enough time to get that defuse. So it got really close. I think it was just maybe half a second that they needed. So nothing else that can be done there. Still, Akrew is going to be on the lead and still have a couple ultimates, including that Blade Storm from Neon that will be used.
Despite the close round, it's the time to reset just a little bit. The Blade Storm going to be pushing through the nebula, and with the updraft, JC Sandy will be going down, and that is a fantastic opening pick going in the way of Akrew. That pressure being put on over A. Akrew is going to keep pushing over through A. If anyone else can be caught out guard, as the guiding light over on B is going to be making waves of its own, and already Akrew with a huge lead going into this. Pioneers only with 2 members left.
2 members are Pioneers. You gotta play together, or at least at the same time if you're not in the same place. But nothing can be done. Come waiting right for critical. Able to connect that kill. And only waited for the first time that we see him live. A thrifty round for Akrew and a 4-2. They're able to push as they continue getting more and more ahead. And Pioneers just slowing their momentum a little bit more. With a couple of save rounds, with a couple buy rounds, but no matter what, is Akrew always finding a way.
Yeah, especially on that last round. And I mean, there was just momentum gained on both sides. You want to say, you know, fantastic momentum gained over on A, but that guiding light through the wall over on B, being able to just cure it. Neither site was going to have a successful push over that time around. Now, going into this one, Pioneers, you don't want to let Akrew get too far ahead with this. Neon's going to be taking the high ground angle, but a guiding light through is going to be pushing him out. And JMO going to have the playtime with orb of his own to be pushing forward with critical, also making fantastic use of the ultimate. Fantastic way for Pioneers to be fighting back, and Akrew are going to be the one now with only 2 to their name. Neon, nice little shot, trying to push out, make something happen through showers. Being pushed, though, that was 2 that he almost could have had, but it's not going to be quite enough there. The thrifty round for Pioneers going to be coming out big and bringing this back within 1.
4-3 as Pioneers are fighting with everything they got to not let Akrew take the lead by at least too much. But Akrew, they always continue to be the team that most of the time is going to get kills, is going to take the advantage. So Pioneers have been doing a pretty good job in stopping that momentum, and even have a Viper spit to work with to even get a little bit more space, to even get a little bit more of the confidence in the Viper spit. Might be used pretty soon.
And there it is, the Viper spit coming out on B to try and shut that down. The Trailblazer coming out from Pioneers to try and get that little bit of information of where the Viper can be playing within that. You know that if there's a Viper spit, there's probably not too many other people on site, only the Viper and maybe one else. So they can grab that, try and catch somebody off their game. It could be a fun one to start pushing into.
Yow on the other side coming in for critical, trying to spot anyone inside this Viper's pit, but running out of time, not able to get anything. Also holding pretty close to the judge. At any point in the space denial happens almost right away.
The push coming out. Jambo tries to updraft and get around, but it's not going to be coming out. The judge is going to be putting in the work. Any push into the Viper's pit is going to be a push of death at this point. And Pioneers finding that one out the hard way. Only 1 left alive now, and that's not going to last for too long. A judge to the face is going to be putting it down, and with that, it's going to be a flawless round for Akrew.
The Viper's pit getting so much value for the side of Akrew. I mean, working out perfectly. You have 2 options to work with. You either push through the Viper's pit and you risk getting taken down because you can't even know where the enemy team is until you are very close, or you go to the other side where most likely the majority of the enemy team will be. So a tough one to choose from, and especially in a map like this one, there's not a lot of space to work with. There's no mid. There's no opportunity to take the advantage there. And so Akrew make that one a clean one, as this attacking team for Pioneers just want to get over that one. Focus on the next one. Pay attention to the next one. Putting the damage right away.
The last time they pushed into B site with the Viper's pit. This time around, though, it's going a lot better. And they're going to have their own utility to be fighting back the Seekers, to be pushing beyond back just that little bit as the spike gets planted onto site. And they have their own Viper's pit to be playing around with now, putting all the pressure on Akrew to try and be pushing back in. 3-4. So the advantage, of course, with Pioneers, but Akrew still have a very decent chance of being able to push back into this. If they can start getting any footing whatsoever. Pancakes, the barrel of the gun, but JC Sandy unable to get it, instead going to be taken down, and this is now even 1v1 situation. She trying to find that last member not too much time to be playing around with and trying to stick it. Thief will take him down.
It seemed like Gucci thought that the last player, the Thief, was going to be towards Hookah, but of course that was not the case. Was right behind him and running out of time. He can't really decide if he wanted to defuse the spike or not, just taking that risk. Because even that kill was not going to be enough. Continuing to make this very, very close. As look at the couple last rounds the way that they went is just literally back and forth, round after round, and no one giving too much ground to work with to the enemy team. Looking at JC standing now with a Cosmic Divide to use.
This is literally the most back and forth game, literally, off of that scoreboard. Each team pushing the other to their limits, trying to be taking this lead. And as there's the push over to A, the Hunter's Fury comes out from Pancakes, and Thief will fall victim to that. Fantastic way for Akrew to get that opening pick. And that's not gonna stop there. Gucci being able to follow up with that. Wall still up though. And just for a moment. Enough for Pioneers to make a little bit of ground. And that's a fantastic way to be pushing back out. Only 2 left for Akrew to try and hold this down, and things aren't going so great for them.
Only 1 member remaining is calm and all up to this player to get anything done. Nothing is going to be spotted yet. No one knows where this Viper is going to be yet, so going to be playing a little careful. There's so many of that utility abilities and everything that is being used that take comp down, and Rita just holding showers. Also not letting anything else to happen for Pioneers because they cannot risk another round lost their way. So another one that goes back and forth, and this time around making things even into a 5-5.
Yeah, this is the first time since the pistol and the next round that there's been a team that's won 2 rounds in a row. So Pioneers taking that to be putting this into a tie. Fantastic job. And with that is forcing Akrew onto a save / extremely broken buy. And Pioneer's gonna try and punish them for that. It's gonna be a bit of pressure going outside onto B as an owl drone starts paving the way through Hookah. Mambo with the dash onto site, be holding the angle, but looking away at the wrong moment is gonna be falling victim to Kanpeki. Nebula up. Will at least hide calm from being able to push out too much, but is not going to be stopping there, but it's only going to be able to grab one. These trades keep coming out back and forth. This crew tries to make a dash onto site.
Player standing.
Just keep falling, and all of a sudden it's Pancakes now in a 2v1 situation. Only a Sheriff to his name to try and take the site back.
Spike planted.
Pancakes remaining has been getting some nice clutches. Does get one. Could be good for another one. Trying to find some rifles, but that is not going to be the case. Only the Sheriff to work with, knowing that the last member is going to be long. 28 HP to work with and running out of time.
Wait. No, there's a rifle over there. Manages to pop across and get it. 2 health left. Critical's done so much damage though, and it's going to be Shock Dart's lineups. Pancakes manages to avoid one, but Critical just has to play time at this point. This round is as good as one, and that is going to seal the deal. Pioneers finally taking the lead into
Last
this.
round before the switch.
And changes this time around. Pioneers taking the lead after winning 3 in a row. And Akrew, it seems like for the first time they lose the lead. It doesn't happen very often. Sometimes it gets even, but they are able to take the advantage right away, right after that. But that 1v1, a little messy for both of the Sovas to get anything done, especially when Pancakes was just taking damage over and over again. And you know, it's a defense situation where you either push the enemy or you get taken down right away with those lineups. And to make this last one for the first half clean as Calm already does get taken down.
Ooh, we were talking about pushes though, and on the defensive there's a push, but a fast turnaround and no ground to be gained whatsoever for Akrew going into this. All of a sudden, only 1 left alive. Try and deal with. She's just running over to the other site at this point. But a 4v1 situation to try and tie this up is a big ask coming out here.
Gucci, the last one remaining on this Astra.
Spike
Trying to
planted.
use that utility for good, but in a 1 versus 4, things can get difficult, things can get risky, taking a little bit of damage from that shock dart. Trying to take those 1 by 1, but can be surrounded easily, cannot even connect with that first duel, and JC Stanley will be taking it. And also taking Pioneers to 7 to have to 5. The first time that we see Pioneers take the advantage, and the first time that we see them actually being able to keep it for the second half.
Yeah, they're looking to try and take this map 2, try and put this to a map 3. Sure, the first map over on Haven was Akrew's game. It was such a strong showing coming out from them, but Pioneers, they're a strong team. We've seen this today, and they're going to be putting up a fight on this map to try and put this into a game 3, to try and take down the championship spot and knock Akrew off of that throne.
But can they do it though? Can they win this second map for Pioneers, and can they take us to a third one where that is going to be guaranteed? As we jump into the second half for the second map, we hope to answer some of those questions for Pioneers and how and what they can do in this pistol round, because Akrew has been able to win most of them, but that doesn't mean it has to stay that way.
Definitely not. Going to pop around. The Aldrone will catch out 2 members of Pioneers. Playing sneaky in that corner. Neon with a cloudburst and dash onto site and try and trap the members of Pioneers that were playing long. Try and trap them in that spot and just let Akrew take over site. But it's not quite gonna stop there. They've pushed through, but they're pushing all the way through spawn.
And all playing together, at least. You can trade, you can get something done here. Oh, J-Mo hiding right in the timing where they needed to. No, something is up there.
The little pain train is going back to the station at this point. Only Neon sticking around. It is going to be good to at least take 1.
30
But
seconds left.
as everyone returns back over to B, 30 seconds left. It's time to get this spike planted. And the members of Pioneers, they're still over in long. So JC Sandy going to be stuck over in Garden, though. Going to be making, you know, at least use with the situation and being able to follow up with a kill. But it isn't even 3v3 as Pioneers try to group together to be pushing out. And they're doing a fantastic job of doing so. It's only calm now. 1v3 situation. The spike isn't planted for him either. He's got to be pushing out, but there's no time. The defuse was stuck anyways. And at that point, Pioneers are going to be winning this pistol round and start to try and build even more of a lead.
Pioneers has absolutely everything to win the second map. They got the momentum, they got the pistol round, and they have the advantage to continue winning the next one. But should be an interesting one for Akrew because they refuse to stay on a disadvantage. So a little bit of a buy that we're also seeing from Akrew on this attacking side, even if they lost that first pistol round. And that can be caught off guard if Pioneers is not expecting it, especially because Akrew hasn't done it earlier today.
Yeah, just that little bit of a surprise to potentially catch them off guard. A guiding light will give out the information about multiple over in B long this time around as the Owl Drone tries to scope out where individuals can be over onto site. The snake bite will at least slow things down for half a second. The Pioneers get situated onto site. At this point, it's just Pioneers holding these angles as the nebulas come up.
Nebula's gonna go up, and all 5 members of each team are still alive, getting some information or trying to get some information early on. Thief, sure that no one's going to be pushed, and we'll definitely be spotting at least a couple members with that guiding light.
As the push comes out, though, there was a little bit of a buy-up, but not working out so well. Pioneers instead being able to take this advantage. And there's just over 30 seconds to be working with on the clock here. Danny being able to grab a kill through the wall. And with it, it all of a sudden is only calm. Stinger in hand against the world. This buy has not been going well for him whatsoever. You're going to be pushing into all 3 people staring you down.
Akrew might have made a mistake buying on that second round, second half. Not turning out to be the way that they wanted to as Pioneers. They're just going to take the opportunity to win the second one and to mess up with the economy of Akrew for the next round. So, I mean, looking good for both of them, as it is just Pioneers getting ahead, getting so many rounds in a row. And, I mean, it's just all so far looking for that potential third map.
It's getting closer and closer, that is for sure. But Akrew, they've definitely shown that they can be a team to, you know, come back into things. So it's not over until it's over. Akrew trying to be putting anything forward at this point. And a little bit outside of showers, but already 2 members of Pioneers posted up, holding these different angles. This close one, too, with the Spectre can be especially dangerous.
Marshall for Neon has been getting some beautiful things throughout today, and I expected to do the same thing again. JMO playing very close, dashes out, still good for another one as Neon does get taken down. Marshall gets no value, not even time to scope in. The advantage in those numbers continue to go for Pioneers on this round, and only 3 alive for Akrew.
Aldrone through hookah to get that little bit of information. I'm not going to call out that there is going to be an aggressive thief holding garden, and all of a sudden it's only going to be 1 against the world and not even for more than a second. Pioneers, flawless round, and that is going to be putting them into double digits, 10 on the board, and a 5-round difference over Akrew.
The biggest mistake there was just Akrew buying on that second round and just not being able to come up on top. The way, I mean, of course, if they're going to buy in that second round even after losing, they just are convinced that they're able to win it, and that was not really the case. So those rifles should be pretty even this time around for both of the teams. But even then, I mean, still struggling to get ahead, taking into account that this side of Pioneers already in those double digits.
And into this, trying to get a little bit of information towards this B-long as Akrew. They got to do something quickly to try and be pushing them back into this, to try and not be bringing this into a map 3. And it will be Uchi for Akrew to be getting that opening pick, keeping them into this. Even the back of sight with the blinding lights. But as the Seekers come out, he's only good for 1 before being taken down, and that is going to be putting Akrew into this advantage. Be able to push onto site. Nebula is going to make it dangerous for Pioneers to try and be able to push through quite yet. And with that, Akrew is able to take control of the site, get this spike planted, and even Critical trying to be pushing up is going to be taken out by Neon hiding in that corner.
When Jimmy with the operator managing to stay alive, but knowing that it's going to be impossible to get anything done, taking those duels 1 by 1 with the operator as the spike is about to go off, might not be the smartest decision for this player, so backing up, going to the complete opposite side to make sure that he's going to be safe and sound, and more than anything, he's the operator, which is all that he's trying to keep towards the end. And for once, after some time, I believe it's definitely been, I mean, every single run in the second half, plus a little bit more from the last half, where Akrew have not been winning, but this time around, they're able to do so, and to still push us into a pretty even one, into a 10-6, and Gucci also getting taken down towards the end. So we are looking at the Cosmic Divide coming in next.
Yeah, Cosmic Divide to try and keep Akrew into this. Round 1 is definitely good to be putting under their belts, but it's still going to be an uphill battle, especially they have the guns on the board, but it's still light armor all around. But even another round 1 could be putting Pioneer in a very weird tie situation. So, Akrew, if there is a time to be putting themselves back into this map, it would be right about now. Critical, been out from showers. Going to be trying to be spamming a little bit into that A short. But backing up as the Cosmic Divide goes down. Hunter's Fury coming up big, taking Pancakes down so quickly. And this push out onto site that Akrew is making, you're going to be able to make it. But already, a bit of a disadvantage. Neon pushes through the wall to try and see if there's any information to be gained, but is unable to quite find anything. And now it's just backing up. Let's see. to be holding these angles, but that's a fantastic kill onto JMO to be able to even the score.
Making things even, but the Seekers are trying to spot some of the members, including the Recon Ball that goes in for that Soba. Everyone playing on that side might make things a lot more difficult, and KCP does get taken down. Neon good for 2, managing to stay alive and to dash away the Cosmic Divide on the other side, and the defuse coming in.
That was a huge 2 kills though for Neon, and that was a huge advantage to be taken. Gucci only has 1 to be following it up, and 2 in a row now for Akrew on the board. It's better. 3 difference and Pioneers in double digits. It's a tricky one, but 2 rounds under their belts and not that great of a money situation for Pioneers. This could be sort of a snowball in the opposite direction here, Dan.
It's going to rely on what Critical is going to be able to do with that Vandal and what JMO is able to do with that Blade Storm coming through next. If they are able to guarantee the opening pick plus 1 more, then Pioneers can win that round 2 just by stealing some rifles from the enemy. But if not, then I feel like Akrew is going to get away with this one too.
With that momentum, they have the Nebula over on Showers, and Critical will be able to come up big. That Vandal shot to take that kill, and they're going to be poking around. Got a bit more information, going to be backing up Pioneers. They can't make any mistake going into this if they want to be taking this round down with their Soul Vandal and their Soul Blade Storm. It's going to be a Trailblazer over B to get a little bit of that information. The crew now, no map control has really been gained, and they're trying to scramble to try and collect themselves and pushing out onto a site together.
JMO with the Blade Storm good for 1, but can't Becky show where's that hookah. Also taking a little bit more control of that positioning, having that better line of sight to work with. To guarantee another kill will be going for the setup Akrew. This is still pretty even, a 4 versus 5. And JMO spotting someone. Still not enough to guarantee the kill. Denying that information. Nope, it's a little too late for that.
That backing up, not wanting to be playing too aggressive, is going to let the spike go into the ground. Enough to let, plays with the team, readjust just a little bit. The Blade Storm, though, is going to be missing. That is a big miss. Going to be back on a pistol instead. And you didn't quite have the full bias into this, having an even fight. The crew, they have the rifles. Pushing into this. A guiding light into it, though. It's only going to be good for 1, but rifles coming on through, putting this into an even 2v2. Tries to be any sort of push through. Viper Pit's coming down to ensure this round cannot be lost. As the time running out, Ammo's not able to quite make it happen. And he's going to be taken out by Calm popping around the corner. And Akrew now on 8 and within 2 of bringing this back.
I want to say the Viper's Pit is not really necessary towards the end, as the defense was running out of time anyways, but the side of Akrew being able to get away with now 3 in a row, being able to guarantee that one, and whatever it takes to get ahead or to try to take the lead against Pioneers. So we're looking very scary for some rounds, taking the advantage and not letting it go for the longest time. But now, look at a 10-8, where things look a lot closer between them, and a Blade Storm now coming on the other side.
Yeah, it's going to be Akrew having the Blade Storm to be able to push in this round. Pancakes with the Owl Drone to be catching out the information. Calm's pushed up aggressively, though, being able to sit outside of the lamps and try and push and get a cheeky little kill there as the rest of the team is pushing out onto B site. So Neon will be able to follow it up with a Blade Storm kill. It's an even fight over there, though. But Calm has the flank of Dreams going on right now. And I don't think they have any clue of what's behind them, or the absolute pain that this can cause.
Dream flashed.
A huge flash coming out there, but only going to be good for 1, but the damage already done. It's only Thief now in a 3v1 situation, and that's not going to be enough. Akrew starting to gain this momentum, starting to go back on a tear, and now just 1 being on double digits and tying up this score.
1 more to go, and having all the potential to do so. Know that once again, Pioneers doesn't really have much to work with. The economy has been absolutely shattered by Akrew. in multiple scenarios, but this one is where it mattered the most for Pioneers to win it. And now, only the Sheriffs, it is the only hope, along with the Viper's Pit, that Pioneers is gonna have into this round.
Definitely looked, a little aggressive towards Showers, but going to be backing up off of this one in Akrew. Now that they got the big weapon advantage, playing it a little slower on one end of the board. On the other, we did pushing far up that B-long, see if anyone would be caught off guard before being forced to back up. Akrew just playing a slower game, and with nobody peeking out quite too far, might start heading towards B-long to be going for the push. There's already one holding the close angle and garden on the other side, though. Will be caught out instantly with this owl drone and be forced to back up, though, giving way of what Akrew might have up their sleeve.
What else can be done here, though? That is the question. We did already getting taken down at 10-9. Can turn out to be any way, but is actually trying to get to that even score 10-10, and the kills starting looks like that might be the kill. The Sheriff trying to connect the kills there. It's not going to happen as JMO does get taken down. Thief, a little bit more to go here, and those going to connect well for one, but not for two. As a 10-10 that we have right now, Akrew, they make a comeback. They make it even. And now they could take away this map too. It was looking so good for Pioneers towards the beginning, towards that middle part of that we've seen. But now they just lost control and they just cannot figure out a way to get back. Might be the operator in the hands of JMO and whatever it takes.
Yeah, this, right at the beginning, this was a back and forth game before Pioneers found their footing, taking 6-7 in a row, but it's Akrew now with these back-to-back rounds with all this momentum, and this is going to be the round of the ultimates. There's going to be that Viper's Pit over in A short, making sure there can't be a push through that, but Seeker's coming out on B is going to be getting all of the information, and Pancake's going to be following it up with a kill. Not going to be left out, though. Critical firing back as well. Nobody wants to be left out of this one. A push out onto site is only going to be good for trades, but they're going to be trades in favor of Akrew at this point as the spike goes down.
The spike does get planted, and there's two members alive for the Saddle Pioneers, and they're in the complete opposite side, going for a save. Nothing else that can be done. Just realizing that the numbers advantage plays such a massive role, and so Akrew is going to guarantee those 11 rounds going their way, not before JMO is able to guarantee one more pick for himself.
Now it's just Weeded trying to be holding on to this as the rest of the lobby is just hunting.
Oh,
It's gonna be JMO.
Another one?
Up in hand.
running,
kill.
just running.
Just running. Just being chased down. Only 8 HP, but gonna take Pancakes
Nice.
down
Nice.
with the classic. I mean, scary. Running for your life at that point. But speaking of scary, things getting scary for Pioneers here. Akrew now 6 rounds in a row. Fantastic econ. They're putting themselves in a position to take this win.
Absolutely, the comeback from Akrew is nothing small. It has been absolutely massive, and for the first time in what feels like forever, Akrew is able to get ahead. And just a reminder, they also won last map, so this is scary territory to jump into for the Saddle Pioneers. And even just looking at the last match that Akrew had, it was against Radiance, and they were losing for a couple rounds, but they were able to pick up their momentum, to pick up that match, and to get it over with. So this might be another one of those cases.
Into this, though, the crew trying to find themselves on match point, making it a little slower. Seekers come out. We'll catch Neon and belong and give away to a little bit of information, but it's not going to be giving away too much at this point, except that Akrew's on a little bit of a default, or was at least, trying to see where any momentum can be gained here.
The hesitation coming in for both teams, knowing the stakes for the last rounds remaining, and the stakes to get anything done here as the attacking side looking and hinting towards A, especially using that wall all the way up, denying some information from the enemy of how many are going to be pushing at the same time, and the Cosmic Divide will be coming up active.
As so many people cut off, we did standing outside of showers, still on the right side, throws down a snake bite, was unable to be grabbing a kill with that or with gun at this point. And this is giving way for Pioneers to be rotating over. There is that Cosmic Divide from the side of Akrew, but there's going to be one for Pioneers as well to try and be able to safely retake this site. But they're going to be still
just gonna
4v4.
Wait, they don't know. They can't hear. They can't hear.
They can't hear it. Critical.
Oh, that
Takes
is
the
massive. That is massive. Pioneer, they get away with that one. They could not hear anything with the Cosmic Divide. They didn't know what was going on. And so Pioneers, they take us to 11-11. Akrew, they have the positioning, but all those sound keys are so massive, and just not having them, you can see how much it can affect a team. And the momentum that gets stopped now for Akrew, they won 6 rounds in a row, and now they didn't even know what was happening.
That was absolutely insane. I thought I saw the defuse. I thought it was gonna get halfway. I didn't think Critical was gonna be allowed to get away with that, but sticking that whole defuse, Akrew didn't have a clue. And you know, that was a round that they wanted to win. They wanted to get on that. And now it's gonna be a tied scoreline. Finally, again, 11-11. As both teams vying to try and close this map out. Pioneers to force it to a map 3, and Akrew to try and take the victory.
Yeah, and I even think for that last round, the only ones that could hear, they just didn't, they thought it was a fake. They didn't thought it was going to stick towards the end. So absolutely unfortunate for Akrew, as they were stopped and that momentum that they were building. But now trying to get it back, rushing into that side, and we'll be getting that spike plant as soon as possible. Trailblazer creating a little bit more space for them. The damage will be taking down Gucci from those lineups.
At least Gucci was able to get the spike planted right before that death. So at this point, Akrew now just has to be in the post-plant positions, just be playing at an angle. No, you know, sneaky Cosmic Divide diffuse this time around. It's going to be just these pure gunfights, all this utility, as they're just vying through this nebula, try and be forcing anyone. The Critical gets it halfway. Spike is halfway and is going to be sticking. Wait for the full defuse popping around the corner, though, in case it's able to be stopping that. But at this point, the defuse is going to come out. That halfway was all it needed. And Pioneers now, after Akrew went on the longest run of round 1, it's going to be Pioneers to make it to match point first.
I cannot believe it. That round, though, we saw what the Cosmic Divide might have done and might have given what Pioneers needed. Not only for the economy, but for the synergy and momentum to go all the way back right when they needed to. That is absolutely insane coming in. Match point already for Pioneers. So it's got to be either the overtime, the victory for Pioneers.
It's all on at this point. Akrew forcing it overtime to try and take this game there. Would secure their 2-0. The Pioneers have done a fantastic job of keeping themselves in this. They just have to do it for a little bit longer. A push coming out onto site. Beef in the back is going to be held vulnerable by the gravitation well. But at this point, the trade's coming out. It's going to be a Viper's Pit dropped by Akrew as they try and be making up this ground right outside of Hookah.
Oh, Pioneers.
A slaughter in the way. Akrew, though, it's going to be Pioneers with that 3v2 advantage. Try and get any ground here. So close between these two teams. Weeded's going to be closing that gap just a little further. 1v3 situation for Pioneers to take this into a map 3. And Calm is just going to try playing this over on the other site, play this on his terms.
Having a dream here. I mean, does have the Viper's Pit with the plan, so very good opportunity if the enemy team doesn't get there in time. Actually, does not have it. Was used earlier, or was used on the other side, so not even having the opportunity. Does get spotted, will be taken down and surrounded. It seems like good for 1, good for 2. Actually making it even. It's a 1v1.
Thief sticking!
It's working out! No way! No way! No way! No way Pioneer does it again! I cannot believe that. No way.
Back a little bit of tech issues. This best of 3 has been so hot that something had to be going wrong. As we're waiting for Dan to be disconnected, though, it's going to be the monologue coming out through. Pioneers taking down the pistol round. But a fantastic hold by Akrew, at least for the moment, onto site to at least be putting this into a 1v2 situation. 1v1 now. And it's going to be Gucci with a Spectre in hand, but not much health to name whatsoever. Trying to get that little bit of information. And with that, we'll be able to close it out. 2 on the board. Pioneers, fantastic little advantage going into this. And now it's going to be the buy up from Akrew. I think we're getting Dan back in here now, slowly but surely. Are you here, friend?
Yep. And
all right.
those 2 rounds that we get to miss, but at least the number 1 and number 2 round can be pretty standard. So Pioneers, seems like they were able to get away with that one and be able to get ahead towards the beginning. Again, the win condition for this team has been all about winning those early rounds and continuing to get that momentum. This is what we saw early on. This is why they got away with the second map. And now with those rifles for Akrew, maybe putting a challenge, maybe making things closer, but the commitment to force everything for both teams to get something done early on.
Little bit of push up from Pioneers, though, up towards Rant, but there's others waiting on the other side. But Neon's gonna be taken down through the wall. A Boombot to be calling out information, but Pancake's gonna be holding high ground over in Rafters, seeing if anybody's gonna be pushing down to the main position, or if Ramps is the way to be going. Crew trying to be holding onto the site, but Pioneers just readjusting, might even look at backing a little bit.
Gotta see how this one is going to be played, though, as the information is trying to be gained towards that A site. And trying to everyone get pretty close around that Viper wall, especially on this attacking side, to get that execution into it.
Ooh, a nice little push onto site. Coming out now, Pioneers. And the wall going up to make things even more difficult for Akrew to try and be pushing back just that little bit. And Critical, with that vantage point, is going to be popping around and taking not just 1, but 2 down. Akrew, and it's all of a sudden just Gucci in a 4v1 situation. Him in hand. But at this point, it's going to be tough to get anything going. And Jamo going to be putting an end to that. Pioneers going to be taking 3 in a row.
Pioneers not only being able to get ahead with a pistol round, but with the 3rd round now as well. The question is, how long can they keep this going? Because Akrew is pretty good at adapting, and this is one of the things that I have been talking about throughout this entire tournament, throughout every single match that I see from them. But it's just Akrew always knowing what to do. And even on the last map, I mean, they were building their confidence, they were building the momentum back, and just kind of unexpectedly got shot down. But I think Akrew doesn't want to let that happen anymore, especially on this defensive side. Gotta be all about that communication to make the rotation is, and it seems like it's already taking place, right? No one towards the east side, and 2 already coming in. Akrew gets away with 2.
The Bucky in the corner, being able to get 2 kills at once, and that's definitely a way to be trying to even things up going into this. It's going to be a paint shell kill for Thief, as well to be taking out the Raze counterpart. The Pioneers have the advantage, but Akrew doing a fantastic job of bringing this pretty even and pretty close, though. That's definitely going to be ruined with his showstopper coming out from Thief. Only Calm now in the back of his sight. The Sheriff in hand. And it's going to be Pioneers to put their 4th on the board.
Akrew, I mean, like, I just want to check what is going on with them. It's the first time that they lose so many rounds towards the beginning in a row, even with those rifles, and even with a little bit better. It is just all those forces that they make early on that they have to pay for after. So this one finally looking a little bit better after those save rounds that we saw early on from them, to not only take the advantage, but or at least to try to take the advantage slowly, but also to buy an operator in the hands of Neon, which we already know how that goes.
Yeah. This time around, Boombot not only cleared that corner, but to be pushing you back just that little bit. Barrier Orb comes out as they try and push out onto site. Pancakes is already here, holding strong. Gonna be able to grab one and deal some damage nonetheless. Pioneers have been able to be pushing out. It is a fight control of this site, and it's not gonna go freely or at all. You do the fantastic 2K through the wall, and with that, it's only Thief left now on site. The 3v1 situation is good to just find one more kill, but two people staring him down after that. And, you know, you're asking what Akrew was doing, but they're getting their first point on the board. They let the teams get an advantage sometimes, but Akrew's always quick to fire back.
Only good for the one round that we're seeing right now, though. So a lot more that has to be done for Akrew, but their operator definitely paying off, along with all those other rifles hiding a little bit for Akrew, getting that defensive round. And this is one of those maps that should be a little bit more defensive sided in many cases, and especially for Akrew. I expect it to be just with the use of the operator for Neon, and especially playing here towards mid. There it is, just always able to get one or two early on and messing with the numbers, especially as you take down the stage, which is an absolute massive pick.
Definitely. And with that, no momentum gain over mid whatsoever. It's going to be Pioneers playing into Akrew's own Sage, and the Bladestorm not going to make any impact whatsoever. A little push through the wall, going to put it down, but push through. He's not going to be able to push any further off of that. That's going to be getting a trade, but it's still Akrew with a massive advantage going into this 4v2 situation. And, you know, there's the Neon difference coming out. Akrew 2 in a row now to start shortening this lead by a little bit.
Pioneers, after 2 or 4 rounds, in a row, seem to be stopped for a couple of those, and trying to see for how long it's going to continue being stopped, as this one should be one of those rounds where the ultimate can play a massive role into what happens. And I'm especially looking at we did on the attacking side, having the Viper's Pit to use, winning a really good situation if they can plant the spike, use the Viper's Pit, and deny a little bit more of space control and even visibility for the setup Akrew. But that means that first of all is going to be Pioneers either getting to site.
Yeah, and at this point, both sides being held down, and the mid's gonna be dangerous too. Neon pushing up that time around, be taking one out just in sewers. And it's gonna be difficult to even push out onto a site at this point. Both being held down pretty well. Wall going up, try and let Critical at least push up ramps, try and get into heaven. But even Kanpeki with spray down through the wall is gonna be putting Pioneers in a tough position.
I want to see how Pioneers are able to adapt or try to make some changes for this one. The numbers advantage, definitely not there for Pioneers, but can still get a couple rounds early on, or can really at least take the advantageous position there. Daisy Stanny taking one with a share, looking pretty good, but now spotted, knowing exactly where she's going to be. There it is.
30 seconds left.
Another kill coming in for the other side, and a 2v3. It's Akrew still on top, making those rotations. Resto is going to come in, and we did is back in the game.
Even this out to a 3v3. Akrew does have this at their disposal, though it's not even going to come into effect or into play whatsoever. Kanpeki, 4th kill in the round to be closing it out. And Akrew now 3 in a row, 1 away from tying this up. And I mean, I don't know if you cast or curse this one, Dan, but you asked where Akrew was, and they're starting to show up.
Yeah, it was an interesting commitment from them towards the beginning to save those runs and to guarantee that when they bought, it was going to be buying the operator. And ever since then, they've been able to keep the operator ever since that full buy that we saw from them after that 4th round that they lost. Of course, they're going to look a lot better here, but even though we didn't see many ultimates, Viper's Pit's still going to be available. And I'm looking at Thief too. Also, looking forward to play a little bit more aggressive towards mid.
point, little bit of standoff, a little bit of hesitation towards this mid. Don't blame them. There has been Neon with the op here putting in a lot of trouble, but instead opting to be playing over on B this time around. And that's going to give way for Pioneers to start slowly pushing up through that section. Slowly but surely, with only one on the other side of the nebula. Contest, not even. Instead, backing out into A heaven.
Operator in the hands of JMO2 as everyone is looking to play together here. And Boombot's going to spot at least one playing towards that area. As this attacking side for Pioneers is looking forward to push all together. Only the Astra on the other way for JZ Stanny. Making sure that no one's going to come up in a flank. No one's going to take down your team members when they shouldn't have.
30 seconds left.
Gonna be a paint shells to be slowing things down. And a showstopper to try and bring them back up, but a big miss coming out there. And with that, Pioneers being able to push out a little bit, but it's still a dangerous push as the trades coming out. 3v3 advantage now as the resurrection comes out from Akrew, but there's less than 10 seconds to be working with. This plant has to be sticking, and Scom tries to be pushing through, having to stop it. It's not gonna work, and Pioneers will take down the round, though it was definitely a little messy.
I'm really surprised that the showstopper didn't really connect towards that high ground positioning.
Right?
It seems like everyone was super close to that area, but it's one of the changes that, I mean, it's been a couple months now that Race had to deal with, where the area is not as big, so you have to really aim towards who you're going to take down. Nonetheless, Thief still has a showstopper of their own to use at any point in time for this attacking team, and that at least might be enough to create the space the Pioneers need to continue getting those rounds after round.
Ooh, the well over in mid is going to be pushing Neon out that angle, and it's going to be, you know, the little bit of a robot war happening over in mid as the Moonbots try and get that little bit of information. Amo holding the other angle, does have the op as well, but neither team really wanting to be pushing too far forward into the danger zone.
Right there.
B Garage looking pretty scary as everyone, every single member of the set of Pioneers is looking forward to push from here, and the Cosmic Divide is going to enable that to happen.
Cosmic Divide, and there's a showstopper as well to clear anything out. No information quite gained, finally sends it up into heaven. At that point, the fall damage coming out. I don't know what we just saw there. I'm not gonna lie. They managed to push out on the site though, and with that, the Viper's pick can go up, and Pioneers with a fantastic advantage going into this 4v2 situation. The last two were up in heaven, but at this point, looks just as save out to just try and hold on to this op.
4v2, Akrew not really having numbers advantage to work with here. It's only the Jet and the Sage going all the way back, knowing that this one is not turning out to be the way that they wanted to, and with the Viper Spit, the challenge is there, and is a challenge that Akrew does not want to face. So another round, making it now 6 for Pioneers, who are, I mean, this might be so far their best map. Yeah, just being able to get ahead.
I just want to go back to what we just saw in that round with the showstopper and the fall damage and the ace sound that came out. I mean, yeah. I thought it was just me for a second, but that was a mix-up.
Real ace.
Something.
What do you mean that was an ace? No? It was an invisible ace. You wouldn't get it.
That was just
you wouldn't get it.
I just don't. I don't get it. That was something, that's for sure. But at least it enabled, you know, Pioneers take the advantage and take an even amount. I was at least be even for the round, for the half. Apologies, 6 on the board already, and a lot of momentum over Akrew here. Only 3 on the board on their defensive end so far. Pioneers going into this round, looking to try and take this mid control, and it's not actually really going to be too contested.
already losing the Astra makes that utility such a lot harder to execute. On the other side, though, Pancakes will be taken down. Seems like they don't know that Kenpeck is going to be looking pretty close. They have no idea. We'll be getting that pick, getting now 2, and we did no longer alive, no longer having those opportunities. As the last one will be coming in, and Akrew gets another one. The opportunity for Pioneers to get an advantage into this first half and take it to second is there, but still missing a little bit. We have 2 more to go here.
2 more, and Pioneers, you know, don't quite have the full buys to be on even pacing here. And Akrew, they've done a fantastic job, you know, coming back into games, and they're going to try and be even for this half. Try and get these next 2 on the board, and they could be in good shape to be taking this. But this time around, Pioneers going to be testing their luck towards A. Majority of the time, they've been split up. Only a member or 2 towards A. But this looks like a dedicated push so far, and, well, right out of the gate, not so fantastic. An op shot and any sort of push onto site being denied by Calm. Members of the Pioneers are dropping like flies at this point. Though, the We Did Different coming out to be tying this up. Even 2v2 going into this. Neon popping around the corner is going to be taken down, and it's all of a sudden, despite the fact that Pioneers pushed into death, they're finding themselves in a 2v1 situation.
4 kills for We Did there. We're looking a lot better on this Viper. On this last map, on this 3rd map for Pioneers. And looking so much more comfortable as they are taking us to at least... The worst thing that can happen here is a 7-5, which is still pretty good for Pioneers. I'm honestly surprised of how well they've been playing this one compared to the last 2 maps where we saw for the set of Pioneers them making more mistakes early on and being able to correct them halfway through. But this time around, they started strong and they continue being strong.
It's just whether they can be taking that strength and take that momentum over into the swap. But they're going to try and take this last round on the board to be furthering that lead, even going into that. And they're going to be putting their efforts back towards A again. Thief with the double satchel over will be getting in control. The rest of the team tries to be pushing out into it. Hit it into Nebula, though. And Spam will be able to push through, find 1. At this point, not able to get out, but the paint shells will cause a little bit of damage, but so much damage being done. Pioneers now 4v2 in the Viper's Pit coming out, going to be making this even more difficult to try and contest for Akrew whatsoever.
Viper's Pit to work with is always difficult and good for 1, but of course it's going to be on the other side, making even an only Jet remaining with a dream here for Neon. Has been getting some nice clutches, but running out of time and having to walk with the Viper's Pit, things can get difficult.
2v1, normally doable, but, you know, no time being forced to dash in, and Weeded's already sitting there waiting. Waiting to the swap now. Pioneers on the defensive, already with 8 on the board, though, and Pioneers, they've done a fantastic job of staying alive in this series, and they've got a really good advantage into this match 3.
An 8-2-4 that we're gonna jump in, and again, it's been... I've seen some people saying that 8-2-4 is a new curse, so we're gonna see how it's going to turn out. If it's going to be true for this story between Akrew and Pioneers or not. As Akrew now is looking forward to go on the attacking side, and even looking at their composition with their double duelists, of course, that both of the teams are bringing, but especially with the aggression coming in for Akrew, they can do a lot on this attacking side, but again, it goes back to the pistol.
Does being able to grab this pistol round for Akrew would be major, but so would it be for Pioneers. The pistol in the next round would put them so close into securing this, put them into the double digits. So a lot of pressure on both ends going into this. Push up through mid, though. It'll be Pioneers with that opening pick. Big one at that, forcing Akrew to be backing up just a little bit, or at least for most of their members. Yuchi's gonna be posted into ropes, though.
I have the spike.
Spike is going to be grabbed by Kenpeck as the rotation is taking place, and it seems like for the set of Pioneers, they have no idea of what's going on. Eve might be having a hint, might be communicating with the team soon. To get some kill early on. Not even good for one because KCP was there and both of them pushing at the same time is going to guarantee the confidence going on this pistol round. KCP, another one. Your way.
Pass, a little push out. JMO's good to at least try and get one more to try and even it out, but traded out is going to be Akrew now with 3, with the spike being planted. The heal coming out as well. The one advantage that Pioneers had with the health situation now all of a sudden gone, but working together as a team will at least be able to try and even this out, but it's now a 1v1 situation. So little help for JC Stanny. Will lead on to be getting his 3rd kill into it, and Akrew to be taking down a pistol round clutch.
Knowing exactly where the spike is going to be and knowing that if it's going to get defused, he has a crosshair right on the head of the enemy. So another round and another pistol round today going for the set of Akrew, having a potential to make things even and to make another comeback happen. This has to be the team with the most potential to make comebacks than anyone else. So still there, gonna be with those Spectres, see what can they do, but it seems like we do got a tech post as well coming in.
We just got to keep that suspense going for this map 3. That's all it is. But this has been a really good one so far. But we did see we're in map 2 that there was an advantage gained and Akrew able to bounce back. And you know, are you thinking that they can do it again going into map 3?
Well, the thing is that the last map, I am a strong believer that Akrew would have won that second map if it just didn't go the way of like it wasn't even the fact that the defuse came in for Pioneers on the last one, but it was the fact that the momentum that Akrew was building was stopped. So if Akrew has the momentum, if it has those vibes like they told us last week, they have everything to win. And so for Pioneers, all you gotta do is shut it down as early as possible.
True. Good vibes. Nothing if you can't get the round wins to be going with it. And Akrew already down 3. Gonna try and make it up. So they do have, you know, weaponry to be having that advantage going into it. They did win the pistol. And, you know, trying their luck out towards mid. Gonna be going back towards A. And, you know, good call in there. And 3 posted over in B heaven. Would now be forced to rotate over once Akrew makes their presence over here known. Fantastic kill on his side. That push up through. Only gonna be for 1, but the Spectres. Only 1 from Akrew going to be going down. And all of a sudden Akrew 6-8. And slowly but surely, if they can grab this next round, I believe in the snowball that Akrew can grab.
I also believe in that snowball, and I think, though, the Pioneers can put up a fight into this one, especially looking at those rifles that are going to be bought their way, those heavy shields more than anything. We know how the 3rd round usually goes, and depends on Akrew. The opening picks to steal some of those rifles can be crucial for them, especially as they are going to play aggressive, but pretty much default towards the beginning, the spike on the floor, trying to get some information early on. Why not give those rifles right away?
Not critical. Wall up. Trying to play at high angle. Unable to quite connect into that, though. Is going to be falling off as the wall falls. And Akrew just trying to take this map control over in mid and split.
Everyone alive so far. A lot of time to work with as well for these attackers, but it wouldn't be the first time that they make this rotation from mid towards A, or at least try to. It seems like there's some hesitation going on there. There's no information given to any of the teams yet, though.
Not too much, just little bits here. At this point, in the corner of the camp, don't think it caught out. Lurk in the corner, though. Instead, just giving up the information that there's stuff happening over in B heaven. The wall goes up, though, and Pancakes will take Thief down over top of it. Akrew tries to be taking over this site. JC Stanny still holding strong on the site, though. Those other 2 members of Pioneers rotating out. Back over to A, though. Akrew's still up in B heaven.
For how long though? There's 2 members alive for the set of Pioneers to stop
10
this
seconds
plan
left.
to go down. It seems like they're going to let it happen. They don't want to peek one by one and get taken down, especially JC Stanny. I have no idea though. So far, does spot one, does spot Kentucky. Not able to get the kill just yet, just waiting. JC Stanny with that patience, just waiting for Kentucky to walk right into him. And being able to connect that one as well, making it 3k for JC Stanny. Could be making it a 4k. The Cosmic Divide is going to come in on the other side. Pancakes, the last one alive for the side of Akrew. And no abilities to use, no information that can be gained. Just gotta pass through there. Oh, and that clutch actually makes it happen. 4k going on for Pancakes.
The last 2 through the wall. That was a dangerous one to push. We know that the defuse is happening. Pioneers do not fake it, but pushing through, Gambo is not looking at quite the right spot to be going for that trade, and that allowed Pancakes to push in and out. But that was absolutely huge for Akrew. That was a huge clutch.
That is how you shot down any possibility for Pioneers. And that is also how Akrew gets their momentum out of rounds like that one, where you see they get victories where it shouldn't even be happening. So now Akrew, in a 7-8, have the potential to win this one as well. And it goes back to the default that Akrew has been doing every single attack, just peeking towards mid, trying to get some information, not really going the way that they want to. But look at how aggressive the defense is looking towards A.
3 of them could potentially push up over there as their own battles are happening over in mid. Tom just hiding on the other side of that. The footprints, though, so much information gained, but looking the wrong way. Weed is going to be able to take Calm down, and that's now a rifle in Pioneer's hands, evening out a score. It's going to be a push through B Heaven. Thief unable to quite grab one, but still a little bit. Pioneers, a gun in their hands, but they got to be making their way over to B.
Because the spike is going to be planted here, so last 2 members of Pioneers have to figure out a way to play together, especially as they are approaching Kentucky. Watching, holding those angles as much as you can.
Kentucky not going to be able to quite do it, though. The other 2, both playing together on the other side of the wall, will take them down. And 3v2 situation now. Time running out. It could just be about hoping to kill, seeing where the event can be made, but a push out onto site anyways. They're going to go for it, and Gucci is going to punish them and take them down for that. And with that, Akrew is going to tie this game up.
An 8-8. That not so long ago was an 8-4, so that curve's becoming more and more real. But still, a long way to go. Still a couple of rounds to determine who was going to come up on top for this Winter Champs week number 9. A lot of possibilities here as we are even as both of the teams are able to buy those rifles. But more than anything, JMO with the operator hasn't really been a highlight so far. Trying to change things around now.
2 members of Akrew just looking up through this mid. Boombot will at least catch one out while tries to go up, but they're not going to let that stay for just a second. But Pioneers are okay with that. The wall will fall, but so will the 2 members of Akrew. Now Pioneers with the guns being able to take the advantage going into this. So much happening towards over in mid, though. But it's going to be Pancakes pushing up through ropes instead. And the possibility for 2, but it's only going to be good for 1. And now 2 for Akrew to try and take over a site with the spike.
A-side, once again, has almost every single time been one of their favorites. Coming out to be very, very close to Thief, holding those corners. Whoever pushes first might get taken down unexpectedly here, but the numbers advantage nonetheless should be on the side of Pioneers. 3 versus 4, and connecting that kill, not being able to put that crosshair right in the head. So Cypher taken down. Only 1 more potential here for Kentucky to get anything done in that barrier. Going to create some space. It's just going to create that difficulty, but it's not going to be enough as Steve is at 3k. Gets around for the Pioneers. And the DPs will be coming in too.
Akrew tied up with Pioneers. they fight back to try and get their lead back of going into this. And this has been back and forth. I'm so glad we have a fantastic game 3 on our hands. Akrew trying to play for their 3rd Winter Champs qualifier title, and Pioneers fighting for this further first. But you can't say this isn't a fantastic map 3 so far.
It is very nice. It's very close too, even though we saw towards the beginning the set of Pioneers taking the lead. Now Akrew is putting a challenge into that. Hasn't been able to get ahead yet, but it is at least looking close to do that. And it all depends on their attacking for the next couple rounds. There's a space and the barrier doesn't get any value. The showstopper is going to come into the slow orb. It's not going to let any value out of it.
Ooh, just gonna be good for some damage. Showstopper in return, not gonna find anything though. And with all explosives settle, it's gonna be an even 3v3 now for these teams. Is a Cosmic Divide fades away over on A. Trying to gain any ground here. I mean, they do have sight. Spike not planted quite yet, but it definitely doesn't feel too secure, especially with A Heaven still in control as Pioneers and they're able to pop down ramps and grab a kill for themselves.
Spike is planted, and the time can be running off for Pioneers though, so the 3 members alive have to play together and have to play fast, and all in the hands of JMO going first. Playing together with this Viper too to see what they're able to do.
Cosmic Divide for Pioneers coming out, hopping around the corner. Weeded's gonna be good for 2. But it's going to Pancake's good for 2, but JC Stanley grabbing that last kill. With that, to be able to go for the defuse, and Pioneers now, another 2 lead for them. And, you know, that's a little bit of momentum gained back for them. We talked about Akrew's snowballing potential, but Pioneers not letting them.
Pioneers getting to those double digits first and continuing to win round after round. I think Akrew cannot even buy in this one. I don't think they have enough to buy all the rifles that they would want to, ideally, so should be a good one for Pioneers to keep building more and more. Actually, well, it's kind of here and there. I mean, one of the Spectres actually being bought. Well, seems like decent enough of the economy for Akrew. But okay, this one is, of course, this is the last chance for Akrew to get ahead, to get this one. If not, they're actually not going to have any economy to work with.
All about that money. Boombot for Akrew. Seeing that there's nobody quite in mail, allowing Neon to be pushing up a little more aggressive as Pancake's gonna be clearing out ropes instead. So much control already in the way for Akrew, but gonna be denied as that wall goes up. Sandy gonna be pushing, trying to get one through the nebula, but being forced to be backing up with the paint shells coming out.
The paint shells create a little bit of a distraction, a little bit of potential damage coming in, but nonetheless, all members alive for Akrew and Pioneers, depending on how much harder they're able to make it. Pancake's pretty aggressive here, even with the Spectre able to connect that kill into Thief. And Neutral Theft will be coming in as well, spotting everyone, but not being able to guarantee any kills just yet.
You're talking that Akrew, they needed to grab this if they didn't want their econ to be in absolute shambles. And 5 members still alive. And a spike planted, being able to go for those post-plant positions. That's, you know, definitely a way to be doing it. And Pioneers, they're just going to be backing up and saving guns at this point. Calm, going for a little bit of hunting, will be taken down. But Akrew's round to be grabbing. Put this back within 1. And this has been a series.
Absolutely, and the positioning of everyone across the map is so interesting. The defense all playing together, closer to the B side, but not quite as Akrew. Trying to get some information, trying to get one more before the spike is detonated, but that is going to be all that they get. Not able to get the set of Pioneers because they were all hiding all the way back. So 3 rifles though that they were able to keep.
Yeah, and being able to keep those guns, get around. Akrew gonna take this chance now to go for the timeout. They are so close to tying this up And it's all down to this. Just a couple of rounds difference to closing out this game and becoming the champs. But look at the ultimates the Pioneers have on board to be able to try and make something of it. And this has been back and forth. But with Akrew calling this time out, what do you think that they could change to try and get this advantage going into this?
Gonna be an interesting one between the two teams just because the momentum is not settled into one of them. And the way that Akrew was able to execute pretty early on towards that A side seems like it was working out perfectly because towards the beginning we've seen all about the default getting information, pushing towards mid, and getting taken down. Unfortunately, just you know that the lineups and everything else on the side of Pioneers on the defense will be there, will be holding still. So Akrew and the way that they executed a little bit faster into the A is nice to see, but I don't know for how long. I think the relying on information in the early round is absolutely crucial, but there's gonna be a point where things have to change.
And now that they've had the timeout, we'll see if the time for change is now. Ammo trying to be playing over in male with the off is going to be Cloudburst off. At least for the angle is Thief has absolutely no line of sight. Boombot on a mission there. J-Mo having to dash to make sure it doesn't explode right on his tail there. And being forced out into a different position. And not only that, completely blocked off with the Nebula now.
Oh, but that is not going to stop Pancakes from connecting that kill. The JMO 2 down. No duel is available for the set of Pioneers. As the attacking team of Akrew is looking pretty comfortable. Even the timeout seems to be working out for them just fine. Critical gets spotted. 67 HP. Going to use a slow orb to back down in the rest. Even though available, there's no one close, it seems like, to give it to.
That a lot of ground over in mid. And Calm pushed up all the way onto a site, a potentially safe place for this spike to be going. There is that presence
30 seconds
over
left.
in a heaven, though. But Neon, a little bit of flank, going through ropes, see if that's a potential way to be closing this off and taking this site down. But at this point, Akrew have to be making a move. They got less than 20 seconds left, be pushing onto that site with the spike. The critical going down means that they should be able to do it safely.
The spike is going to be planted. All members alive for the set of Akrew and 2 members alive for the set of Pioneers. Seems like it's going to be another safe one for them. Maybe some exit frags that they can get here as Pancakes is getting very close. Let's get taken down.
Yeah, no trying to be pushing up on these two. Though the Akrew now, they're just hunting. There's not a single body near this spike. If it wasn't the information, there could be some sneaky things happening. But at this point, everybody's just trying to take the last 2 members of Pioneers down. An absolute little bit of a stalemate here.
Double digits now. Although the team's able to get them, and I think this might even go to overtime, really. Just looking at how everything is going and looking at how back and forth it continues to be. Even with the ultimate, it's always surprises that guarantee what happens on those rounds. Even though it's the same procedure, especially for these attacking teams, towards the beginning, as it approaches the spike to be planted, it turns into the same scenario over and over again. I mean, especially towards A. How many times have we seen B? I feel like maybe 1 or 2.
Definitely. Demo now gonna be holding this B main with the op. The jump peeks around, not gonna be punished this time around. I'm just gonna be backing up. Critical gonna be blocking off heaven, but there's not gonna be too much of a push up from Akrew anywhere quite yet. Though even if they did, there's not actually anybody to be greeting them there.
Yeah, there's not going to be anyone there. The spike is on the floor. Continues to be the exact same thing over and over again for Akrew, but can be working out just fine. Looking at the execution here as a defense. Maybe just not even peeking, just holding that angle. Guarantee 1 or 2.
JC standing, holding this aggressive angle. Will be good for at least once. But then everybody there in a resurrection will bring Gucci back to life as Akrew goes for this push out onto site. Critical trying to be holding it is not going to be able to do too much with the Sheriff. And as the site falls, Akrew's able to get that spike planted. And the wall in the way means they can safely start, you know, hiding in B main. Hiding for any sort of retake potential. And it's going to be a difficult one with Chemo with just an op over in heaven.
The operator to work with, but JMO hasn't been having the greatest game here. Does get one. It is a 1v3 and is gonna be saving the operator again. Going to get some kills. The Cloudburst trying to stop anything from happening, but the op drop is actually going to cause JMO to get taken down and to lose his operator. Or potentially forever, depending on what Akrew is able to do here. Now, they get ahead. We've been waiting for this moment. Akrew has been kind of coming back and forth, did not take the advantage towards the beginning of this map, and has been slowly building up to get on top. They were just finally able to do that, and this is why it just seems like they are the best comeback team. There's 2 more rounds for them to go to guarantee it.
They're so close into being able to do this. And here's a fantastic game, but Akrew finally taking this lead, finally taking this advantage, going into this. And a fantastic job in the attacking end so far. Pancake's going to be pushing up just on the other end of the nebula. Force me backing down with those paint shells. A missed shot over from Mail is going to be forcing Versus to be backing up there as well. It is a fight for this midsection. Pancake's waiting just on the other side. You know, there's been absolutely no ground gained whatsoever in B main. It's all about a fight for mid at this point.
And it is because the defense wants to take the fight this time around. With 10 HP for Neon to work with, Pancakes will be the one opening it here. Showstopper immediately denied by the Blade Storm. No possibilities for it to get any sort of battle in it. So 4v4 still looking pretty even between the two teams. But again, Akrew on the attacking side, having an operator at hand, having a potential to get the spike planted here.
Doing this, the wall goes up, it'll at least cut one out, and Tom is able to be getting a little bit of heavy control, but not for too long. Weeded can be able to safely shoot him down. Gonna be stuck with the wall on the other side, but this is gonna be a 3v3. Pioneers, they do have the resurrection if they can get to the body to make this happen. And it's going to be JC Sandy coming back to life. All of a sudden, something that was favorable for Akrew is just going to be a 4v1 situation. And Gucci going down means Pioneers evening this up. And both teams now are going to be fighting for this match point.
A reminder that last week, when we saw teams facing each other, when we saw Pioneers and Akrew facing each other, it was only 2 maps. And it was Akrew taking the victory 13-9 in both of the maps that we saw from them. But now, extremely close for this third map between the two. And Pioneer still having a big potential to win it all. But again, I saw it and I felt it a little bit early. I think the overtime is very much a possibility here. Just looking at how back and forth things continue to go. And the hesitation more than anything for the defense. Every time they lose a round, or if they're not in the best positioning possible, they're trying to save, and now there's not even enough time to save.
Definitely, it's now or never, basically. Critical, though, pushes up to try and catch someone off guard, but Neon already holding that angle. That is a hard blow to take right out of the gate, though. It's not going to be a fight for mid this time around. Instead, it's going to be completely locked down with that Viper's Pit. So if Akrew wants to be pushing into this, they got to play right into the belly of the beast, or they got to actually just push right through onto a site.
Is a good denial for the mid control that Pioneers is trying to take here, only with that Viper's Pit. I mean, the Viper's Pit can do so much, and not even knowing what is going on, how many members of the enemy team are going to be there, putting a challenge for Akrew to phase it. Like you said, they either have to go in, they either have to phase it, or just take one of the sides, and it seems like that is going to be the better approach. And any position here, 4 members instead of Akrew, looking towards B, looking towards that B main, B garage. As they push in, and there's only a jet, I believe it's with an operator, yeah. Emo just waiting for them.
Only a jet, but a jet and with an operator is a dangerous thing. Unable to quite connect the shot, though, with the blast pack shenanigans. And that's going to give way for Akrew to be able to push out onto the site and get it planted. Nebula, as well, is not going to make JMO being able to pop through and do anything whatsoever. And now Pioneers have to figure out how to rally together to push back up. Trying to be pushing through the entrance, but Neon with an op as well. Will be able to take one, though, taking heavy fire in return.
Oh.
Any push from Heaven, though, not gonna go so well. And it's only one now. JMO op in hand in a 4v1.
Again.
And just trying to get away. Again is right. I mean, this point now, it's Akrew on match point. And it's just going to be up to Pioneers to do anything in their power to stop them from winning this out.
They don't want to let JMO get away with it, but he will. Okay, no more, not even opportunity for ace. Time runs out, but it's already match point, and honestly surprising the decision making. It just seems like the rotations for Pioneers have always been lacking. That is why round after round, they're trying to save the operator, they're trying to save those rifles, and sometimes you really gotta commit to go in. And I know there's a lot of rounds where you want to save, but it's been way too many, and now they're in a massive disadvantage. Akrew, it's one more to go, and they might just get it.
They're so close, and they've been having a fantastic attacking end so far. So, you're going to take everything from Pioneers to be bringing this into overtime, but the ultimates that Akrew have on board as well are going to be making this a worthy fight. That is for sure. But Akrew are not going to be playing too aggressive. They're not going to put themselves in a bad situation. They're going to be playing it slow this time around.
Recovering it.
They often do play slow towards the beginning, though, so there's no surprises here. Last time, there was a Viper spit towards mid, so that made things a little bit more difficult. The Blade Storm will be coming in as well. But the aggression, not so much, as again, it is just playing for that information, playing for those picks early on. The opening pick can do everything for this round.
A little bit of a jump peek in Heaven. And with that information, the team's going to start gathering. It's been slow. It's been information gathering. But as the Cosmic Divide comes down for both ends, it's going to be a push onto A site. Neon going to be drifting through with Blade Storm in hand, but not going to be able to have that line of sight critical just on the other side. But Neon's going to pop through that anyways. Akrew not going to slow down whatsoever. This is their game to win. They are hungry for their third Winter Champs win, and they're one person away from grabbing it right now. It's going to be JMO against the world. Op in hand. We saw the 4K last time, but Neon is going to take him down, and with that, Akrew back-to-back Winter Champions.